Hello, this is Editing Lauren. I'm realizing now as I'm looking at the footage that I didn't really do much of a proper introduction. So, I mean, technically it's not really about me, it's about the room. But this is a room tour. I just came back from Caribbean Beach at the beginning of June. So this was roughly June 6th, 5th or 6th. I think it was the 6th of 2025. This is Caribbean Beach, a moderate resort. I believe the oldest moderate resort at Walt Disney World. I'm staying in the Jamaica section, which you can see the buildings will all look yellow. So each section of the resort represents a Caribbean island or a Caribbean island. And you'll know that you're in a different island or section based on the color. So I'm in the yellow ones. I was in building 42, room 61. So let's get going. Here is my view. This is just, wow. This is like the exact same room I had at Riverside. It's just different theming. Wow, okay. That actually might help me navigate. So cute little curtains, AC unit. This is a much better work setup. If I was gonna work, let's test out one of these chairs really quickly. Okay, so the chair is low. So for anyone like me who likes to work while you're at Disney and then maybe go to the parks after, this is doable. The chair is a little low for me. Or the table's a little high. I do love the little pineapple down there. But the table is bigger, which is really nice. And the chair is much more comfortable than it was at Port Orleans. The room, I already collapsed on the bed once. I just threw my stuff on the bed. So I'm waiting on my stuff to be delivered. I'm gonna put that in the fridge and along with put that in the fridge along with some water. So bed, I believe these have been fairly recently redone. So I think most everything in here is pretty new. Okay. Soft close drawer on the nightstand. It's a nice headboard. I don't see any hidden Mickeys in the light. I wondered if there was. And of course you always get I love that they started doing this, do little Mickey towels. Oh, that's a fun little note. Okay. And then over here, tons of storage. Wow. Is this the fridge? Yeah. TV is above. More storage. That is a ton of storage. Okay. There's the other nightstand. So you've got the sliding barn doors for a bathroom. If you want a little bit more privacy, a little bit more soundproofing, this might not be the room for you. Nice little bench or to put your suitcase. It's a moderate resort. Hello. So you do get, as amenities, you get bath soap and you get lotion. Very excited about the lotion. Yeah, this is really similar. Almost eerily similar. That is the same, almost as above the bed. And you've got a giant mirror. And okay, so this one has a tub. And this might be old. You don't normally see the soap dish things, but I like it. And then over here you've got the typical formerly branded H2O. Oh, that's nice. And toilet. So yeah, that is it. So from the bathroom, here is what the room looks like. That's it for the tour. It felt like it ended pretty abruptly, which it did because my bags had arrived right as this cut off. So I thought I'd at least give this a little bit of a summary. When it comes to a lot of the resorts, you'll notice that a lot of the rooms are very similar. The layouts are very similar. The theming will be different. This was a king room. This resort offers kings, 2 queens. I I'll be honest, I don't remember if there was like a fifth sleeper. If there is, there will be something in the room when you go to book it to let you know. You can always call Disney if you have any questions. Usually you'll be able to see like a couch. There'll be a sofa. Sometimes they'll have a thing built into the wall that almost looks like a storage hutch, and then you lift it up and then there's like a fifth sleeper. For those beds, for anyone who's watching this who maybe hasn't stayed at a resort before, at a Disney World resort anyway, those beds tend to be a little short. It's like a twin size bed, but smaller. So it's great for little kids. I probably wouldn't put any little kids who might roll off. The floors, as you can tell, they're not hardwood, but they're not carpeted. And even the ones that are carpeted, there's really not a lot of cushion. So you might not want to put any really little kids in them, but 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds would probably be fine in one of those. If you're going to be over, my guess is if you're going to be over 5 feet, 5.5 feet, you might want to test it out. I doubt anybody that is a full-grown adult is going to want to sleep in one of the fifth sleepers. But that is the room. If you have any questions, let me know. As I go to the different resorts, especially the different levels of resorts, I'm going to do room tours. Mostly these videos are because I'm anticipating in the future doing a podcast, and I want to do a podcast to help people plan their stays. So I want to have like some tours available for people. When I go and stay at a new resort, I like to see what a room looks like. When I went to the Disneyland Hotel, I wanted to see what the different rooms would look like so I would have a better idea of which ones to choose from. So that's what this is. I do have vlog style videos that I'm going to be making. I've got one that I'm working on, and I'm not exactly sure I want to do it, but it's going to be a bit of an ode to Muppet Vision 3D, which is why I took this exact trip, was to go for the closing of Muppet Vision 3D, which I'm still very sad about. It was about a week ago now. The worst thing about Caribbean Beach is the size. It's huge. It spans a lake. There are rooms on either side. There are buildings on either side. And then it stretches all the way back to Riviera. One of the buildings is like this close to Riviera. The best thing is that there is a Skyliner stop. The Caribbean Beach, if you are familiar with it, or if you've never ridden this Skyliner before, they're gondolas that go across Disney property. It's my personal favorite way to get around. It might be I really like the boats. I really do love a Disney boat. I love riding on like the little rivers, but I think the Skyliner is my favorite. Caribbean Beach is the big switch off. So everybody has to get off at Caribbean Beach. And then you can either get off and go to the resort, continue on one Skyliner to go to Hollywood Studios, or continue on another to go to Epcot. Caribbean Beach buildings that are closest to the Skyliner are in the Jamaica section, particularly buildings 41 and 42. From my building, I walked out, I made one turn, and in about 2 minutes, I could see the building, and it was right there. It was so convenient. If you're a rope dropper and you love to go to Epcot, especially during the festivals, like it's really going to be hard to beat a Caribbean Beach room. At the other end of the resort, down by Riviera also has a Skyliner stop, but you're still going to have to ride the Skyliner to Caribbean Beach and then either get off there and get up to the other side of Caribbean Beach, or to go to Epcot or Hollywood Studios. So you can get a building down there, and those are also considered preferred rooms. Preferred tend to be either close to, actually, I think it's the standard rooms at Caribbean Beach. You can leave a special note when you make your reservation and say that you want to be close to the Skyliner. There's no guarantee that you will get that room. There's no guarantee that you will get a building close to the Skyliner, but odds are, if they can do it for you, they will. Unfortunately, I don't have any video. I don't think I took any video of the Skyliner stop. I didn't really take a lot when I went to Riviera. I usually like to walk around the resorts. I will try and spend a day either doing everything that the resort offers, or at least a few hours like wandering around, eating at the restaurants, that kind of thing. I did not get a chance on this visit. I had like very specific goals and priorities. And while I really wanted to work that in, it just didn't happen. If it had been cooler and if I had slept better the night before at my Universal stay, things probably would have gone and I probably would have done that, but alas, I did not. I will say though, I am definitely willing to stay here again. I really like Hollywood Studios, a little less now that Muppet Vision is closed. I like Hollywood Studios and I love Epcot. So being able to stay here and having quick access to both, chef's kiss. But that is it. If you have any questions, let me know and I will do whatever I can to try to answer that for you. And if not, I will direct you to where you can probably find the information. And that is it for this video. I will see you in the next one.